Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video we're going to be going over the top 12 JDM cars that we all want to see make a comeback. So JDM cars that have been discontinued or whatever it may be, or some of these are not discontinued, technically they're still being in production, but okay, that was weird. I thought I just saw like a freaking thing move behind me, but it might have been like just like a little dust flying in front of me. That was weird. Spooked the crap out of me, man. I'm also watching some spooky videos right now. I'm watching some queso, so I was getting a little spooked out. It was spooky time, so that was just on my head. Anyways, yeah, 12 JDM cars that are discontinued. As I was trying to say before I got interrupted, sorry. Oh yeah, some of these aren't actually like discontinued fully. They're still technically being made, but what they're being made today it's not what they should be, pretty much is what I'm trying to say. They need to make a comeback in the sense where they need to be good again. Because right now, even though they're still being made, they're horrible and they're not cool in the slightest bit, and they should be brought back to being cool again. So yeah, 12 JDM cars that I think should make a comeback. Movie of the day is Lion King. That's like 2 days in a row now, I think, where we did children's movies. I don't care. I don't care. If you think that there's a problem with that, I don't care. Children's movies are freaking bangers sometimes. Finding Nemo was the other one. Today's Lion King. If you mean to tell me that those two movies aren't bangers, you're a moron. Plain and simple, you are dumb. Like, they are bangers. They are absolute bangers. Go watch Lion King if you haven't already. I mean, I feel like everybody has, but if you haven't already, go watch Lion King. Get some tissues ready. But go watch that movie. It's freaking great. Without further ado, let's get right into it though with number 12 on the top 12 JDM cars that we all want to see make a comeback. Coming in at number 12. What's up, girl? Anyways, coming in at number 12 spot, shit, you know what I'm saying? It's a Toyota Soarer. Alright, all jokes aside, it's a Toyota Soarer. It's a freaking great car. Also, real quick, have any of you guys played Battlefield 6? I'm freaking loving every second of it, and I need a girlfriend because I'm playing way too much of that freaking game. It's absolutely incredible. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments below. Either way, Toyota Soarer, for those who don't know, that's pretty much the Lexus SCs that we have in the Americas. But over in Japan, the Toyota Soarers are even cooler because, of course, they are. They are freaking incredible. Like, yeah, the SC300, which I think is a Z30 over in Japan, is cool, and it has a 1JZ GTE in it, which, I mean, golly. But even the Z20s over in Japan, which we never got in America, there's no Lexus SC that's, you know, the equivalent of those cars in America, are extremely cool as well. I don't really get why they ever stopped making them. If I had to guess, it would be to make room for the LC500, because it's kind of the same thing if you really think about it. It's like their Halo car, but I don't know. I'd like to see them make a comeback. I freaking love them. And even the SC430, like, yeah, the SC430, the Z40 Soarer, was obviously not the best looking car out there. I think we can all agree on that. But it was still a cool car. It had a freaking 1UZ in it, man. At least I think it did. Maybe even had a 2UZ, I don't know, but it was a freaking beast. Now I feel like a big poser. Now I feel like a big dum-dum. I looked it up and it was a 3UZ. Of course, I said 1 and 2, but nope, it was a 3UZ. Golly, I'm sorry about that. Either way, coming in at the number 11 spot is the Nissan Laurel. Yeah, I didn't know they didn't make these anymore, if I'm being honest. I figured they probably still made them in Japan, but they were just extremely boring shells of their older selves, went to all-wheel drive, went to like a freaking crossover SUV variant or whatever. But no, they just don't make them at all anymore, which is kind of sad. I guess it's a good thing, though, because like I said, if it stuck around, the Nissan Laurel, it probably would have been turned into a crossover SUV that was all-wheel drive. And so again, I guess it's probably a good thing that they don't make them anymore and they let them die with their dignity. But man, the C33s and even the C34 Laurels were freaking sick. The C32s were even kind of cool. Like, God, these cars were awesome. And for those who don't know, they were RB-powered rear-wheel drive sedans. They weren't like RB26 DETs, but I think they were RB25DE. I don't remember exactly what the RB motors are so confusing to me. But I know they were an RB motor, and it was just a rear-wheel drive drift car legend. And I really want to make them. I want to see them come back. This is one of the ones where, again, it's technically still being made. Like, you can buy a 2025 model of this car. It's the Nissan GTR. You see it on screen now. Yeah, it's the Nissan GTR. I think the Nissan GTR needs to make a comeback in the sense where they need to freaking let the R35 die and give us the R36, for the love of God. I don't know the exact year, but I'm pretty sure that the R35 came out in 2007 and they're still making it. That is 18 years, Nissan. Move on, buddy. Holy smokes. Like, yeah, the car was absolutely incredible at the time of launch. It was arguably one of the best, no, not even arguably, it was the best bang for your buck car out of the box at the time that it was built. But it's not anymore, and you're kind of killing its legacy because you're letting it go up against modern supercars while having not modern technology in it, and it's really sad to see. And no, go to the R36 for the love of God. Like, just let the R35 die now. It's 18 years. That is unbelievable, dude. That's horrible. Ninth place is another one of those cars. See, hey, we're back to it. Ninth place is another one of the cars where it's still technically being made. You can still technically buy a 2025 Mitsubishi Eclipse, but it's obviously not the Mitsubishi Eclipse that we all love. The Mitsubishi Eclipse back in the old days, the 1Gs, the 2Gs, dude, even the 3Gs and the 4Gs, I'll say it. I like the 3Gs and the 4Gs. I understand they're not as cool as the 2Gs or the 1Gs because they don't have the wonderful 4G 63s out down under there. But I still think they're good-looking cars, and they're still kind of cool cars with a lot of power actually from factory for the price that they're being asked for on marketplace now. Like, I don't got a problem with them. Obviously, they're not as great as a 2G or 1G, but they're cool cars. But nowadays, they make what's called the Eclipse Cross, which is, like I said earlier, with the Nissan Laurel, the sad reality of cars in the modern age. It is an all-wheel drive crossover SUV. Now, all-wheel drive is fine because the Eclipse GSX was all-wheel drive, but obviously the fact that it's a crossover SUV with absolutely no tuning potential whatsoever is not fine. So kill that thing and give us an actual neat Mitsubishi Eclipse sports car and not whatever you think that this is. Eighth place, I just now realized, looking into my camera, my hair looks so stupid today, dude. I look like an idiot today. Sorry. Coming in at 8th place, though, is going to the Honda Prelude. Now, I'm pretty sure, again, this is another one of the cars where they're technically bringing it back. But if they are bringing it back, and they're bringing it back based on the rumors that I've seen, it's going to be an EV. Nope. Just horrible idea, Honda. Absolutely horrible idea. The Honda Prelude should never in a million years be an EV. I don't know who you think you are making it an EV, but you're a moron. I mean, obviously there will be people that buy it just because it's got the Prelude name, and it does look good. Like, that's the thing that drives me nuts too, is they almost nailed it. Because I think the new Preludes, based on the pictures I saw, they look kind of good. They kind of look like a little bit of a sperm cell, if I'm being honest. But dude, just get them in anything but white, and they look great. I think they look like pretty nice little cars. But they're freaking EVs. Like, why? Don't do that. Don't do that. If you come back with it, I'll still be happy, even if it is an EV, just because, you know, kind of seeing a Prelude sports car again, even if it's an EV and it's not, not ideal, would be cool. But golly, man, it would be just so much more cool if you just gave it like the FL5 Civic Type R motor. Just give it that. Nobody will complain. Coming in at 7th place, this one I didn't know if I should like put it on the list because I was trying to avoid like one-off cars, you know what I mean? And this is kind of a one-off car, but I'm giving myself a little bit of a catch-22 there because it's the Honda S2000. And for those who don't know, at first glance you would think, oh, there's only one generation of the S2000. Well, no, there's kind of two, because you got the AP1 and the AP2 S2000s. Now, to be honest, the AP2 is just pretty much a facelift version of the AP1. It did have a different motor in it, though. It had 0.2 more liters, so hey, it was different a little bit. But yeah, obviously we all want to see an S2000 make a comeback, and this one would probably be like in the top 3 for sure if they made more of them. But again, I don't really want to put it in the top 3 since they were kind of a one-off car if you really think about it. But yeah, I mean, seeing an S2000 2.0 would be really, really cool. The only unfortunate part is that it would be made by Honda, and as we see with the Prelude, that means that they would probably give it electric, and I don't think anybody wants that. Coming in at 6th place, by the way, speaking of cars going electric, I actually don't understand billionaires anymore. I don't think they're human beings. I really don't. I think I genuinely might be one of those conspiracy theorists that believe in lizard people or something, because how in God's name do like billionaire car companies see the reception that other EVs get and think that that's a good idea to make their sports car an EV? I don't get it in the slightest bit. Like, it never works. It just never works. No one ever is like, yay, I'm so excited to see the Ford Mustang get turned into an EV. Woohoo! No one is excited about that. As a matter of fact, most of the time, like, remember when freaking Mitsubishi or Mercedes-Benz tried to make their C63 AMG an inline 4 and it didn't sell well at all, so they immediately went back to giving it a V8? It's like, I don't get it. I really don't get it at all. Either way, 6th place is the Toyota Chaser. Oh, I talked for 50 seconds about that. Yeah, the Chaser would be cool to see come back, obviously. Duh. I mean, a rear-wheel drive sedan. It's like the Laurel, but even cooler. I mean, that's all there is to it. Coming in at 5th place, I feel like this car has been tainted in people's minds specifically for the last generation of the car, but that is not representative of the entire car's like heritage. The Toyota Celica. The Toyota Celica is one of the coolest JDM sports cars of all time, period. And just because the 7th gen was definitely a little bit of a disappointment, it did not live up to the hype that the 6th or the 5th or the 4th or the 3rd or the 2nd or the 1st generation gave it. Doesn't mean that the entire line of cars wasn't cool. Like I said, 1st through 6th generations were incredible, and at the 4th gen, when they gave it the GT4 trim, it became not only incredible, but peak Japanese sports cars. And yeah, the 7th gen was definitely not the smartest idea, not giving it a GT4 trim and making it horribly unreliable with only 170 horsepower and a front-wheel drive little economy car was definitely not the smartest idea out there. But it wasn't even that bad. Like, I think people, like, just hate it just because it's, like, not incredible, but it's not horrible either. Like, it's fine. And I just want to see the Celica make a comeback and actually be cool. Again, the Celica is one that worries me, though, because I feel like if they did bring the Celica back, they would definitely make this an EV. 4th place. Oh, another thing, by the way, when it comes to the Celica, I know everybody else was like kind of mad when they gave the Mark V Super the B58, but if you have to do that for the Celica, dude, just freaking do it. Like, I don't even care anymore. Just give us the Celica again. Give it a freaking Daihatsu motor if you have to. I don't care. Either way, coming in at the number 4 spot is another Toyota. Wow, that's 3 Toyotas back to back to back. Did not mean to do that. Either way, the Toyota MR2. This one is probably the most unrealistic car of this list, though, if I'm being honest, and a rear-wheel drive, mid-engine, pop-up headlights sports car by Toyota, 2-seater. Yeah, it's probably not going to happen. I'm just going to put it out there. It's probably a pipe dream, but it would be really cool to see. It would be absolutely, as a matter of fact, it would probably be one of the coolest cars in the world to see be brought back. I mean, that's just such a cool combo. No matter what it is, it's going to be cool. Like, even the Pontiac Fiero, that thing sucked, man. The Pontiac Fiero was just a ticking time bomb with absolutely no horsepower and extremely hard to handle. There was no upside to the Pontiac Fiero, but people are still like, that was a cool car, and myself included. I think the Pontiac Fiero was freaking awesome. Like, the MR2, golly, man, it would be so cool to see the MR2 make a comeback. 3rd place obviously hits a special place in your boy Mark Roden's heart. Okay, because for those who don't know, I'm sure every one of you know this at this point because I say it in almost every chance that I get, but the FD RX-7 is my favorite car in the world, and 3rd place is going to any of the Mazda RX cars. They had like the RX-2s, the RX-3s, then they had the RX-7s and the RX-8s. I don't care if you call it the RX-9. I don't care. I don't call it the RX-69 for all I care. I just bring it back. Bring back a rotary rear-wheel drive car. The RX-8 was kind of a failure, sure, but don't let that discourage you. Like, I still think the RX-8 is kind of cool, and I think a lot of people do. It's like, it would be cool to see these make a comeback, man. It's another one where it's really unrealistic, just like the MR2, because Mazda has obviously steered very far away from ever touching rotaries again, and it makes sense business-wise and financially-wise to do that, don't get me wrong, but man, would I be freaking the happiest man in the world if we had a new RX-7, and it's like actually cool, not like a freaking piece of crap. That would be so cool. Coming in at 2nd place is like the obvious one. I feel like everybody thinks of this one when they first think about cars that want to make it. They want to see make a comeback, because there was never a bad generation of these cars. The Nissan Silvia. Yeah, the Nissan Silvia, or as we know it in the States, the Nissan 240SX, was a rear-wheel drive, dirt cheap sports car. I don't know if you would call it really a sports car. I would call it a sports car, but sports car from Japan in the 90s, obviously, just like almost every other car on this list, that just really had no big downside to them. Like, yeah, the KAs that we got in America definitely weren't great, but in the Silvias, they had the SR20s, and they were just, those were really good motors. They went down in history as an incredible JDM car that never, like I said, never had a bad generation. The S12 was even good. Like, I know people are gonna be like, well, what about the S12? No, that was a good car. Like, it was good for its time. It wasn't as good as the S13 or S14 or S15s, but it was still fine. And then the ones before that were even good too. Like, the Silvia was awesome, and I obviously would like to see these guys make another Silvia. Just a 2-door rear-wheel drive sports car from Nissan that isn't a freaking R35 GTR or Nissan Z would be really cool to see. The only problem, though, I just thought of when it comes to Nissan making a new sports car is CVT. Please just don't do that. Just give us anything but CVT in a new sports car. In any car, actually, Nissan. Just don't put that, just destroy that idea. Either way, honorable mention is going to the Subaru Brat. Yep, we made an honorable mention today. And it's a Subaru Brat. I know the Subaru Baja was technically like a 2nd generation of the Brat, if you really think about it. And I'm fine with that, but they don't make the Baja anymore either, so it still applies. I mean, my dad had a Baja, and it was freaking awesome. It was a super cool car. Like, yeah, it's pretty much just a Ute version of like a Forester, if you really think about it. But that's fine, man. The Foresters are cool. Like, I don't see what the downside is to that. Like, I like Foresters. I would like to see a Subaru Brat make a comeback. I would like to just see Utes make a comeback. Like, why did we ever stop doing that as a country? Look at Australia. Those guys are doing great down there. Why? Because they have Utes. But 1st place, in my opinion, the number 1 JDM car that we all want to see make a comeback, and I don't even think it's freaking close, man. I really don't. I think this is easily like the number 1 car where it's like, please, for the love of God, bring it back. Like, if anything else, bring it back, because this company in general needs at least one cool sports car. They have nothing right now. Nothing. They have no cool sports cars anymore. The Mitsubishi Evo. Mitsubishi sucks. All right, Mitsubishi nowadays is just quite probably like the most sad brand to look at. I don't even, when I see like a new Mitsubishi on the road, I'm like, how are they still in business? It's got to be some sort of money laundering company at this point. It's like when you drive by like 15 mattress firms right next to each other, and you're like, how does that make any sense? How many people need new mattresses? It's the same thing with Mitsubishis. How many people do you know in real life that have a Mitsubishi, like a new one? I know zero. No one, because the company freaking sucks, and the reason why is because they have no sports cars anymore. No one talks about their piece of crap brand, and they're also really unreliable, I heard. But either way, like, give us the Evo again. I will be honest, at least they knew they were about to like kill their car, and so they didn't try making it an 11th gen, because they were like, well, we can't really afford to, so it would just be a shell of its former self. And like, I get that at first, but then you think about Mitsubishi, and they made the freaking Eclipse Cross. So no, that was a bad excuse. That's not true at all. You clearly don't care about killing your old car brand names, because you did with the Eclipse. Okay, the Mitsubishi Evo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are all incredible cars. Like, I don't remember what it's called. I think it's like the 4G11, I think, is what the new freaking motor is in the Eclipse or Evo X's. I think that's what it was called. It's not, I know it's not the 4G63, but that motor's great. That motor was incredible. That car was incredible. Like, yeah, it got a little bit of a bad reception at the time, because that's car guys, though. Every time a new car comes out, we always hate on it. We don't like change. We're men. Men don't like change, okay? We do it all the time. We did it with the freaking F80 M3. Now everyone loves the F80 M3. Like, it happens all the time. Every single second of the day, we say that we hate the new car that comes out, and then we end up loving it a couple years later. Do not let that discourage you, Mitsubishi. Make another Evo. Just don't do what you did with the Eclipse. For the love of God, do not do what you did with the Eclipse, because that was freaking horrible idea. That was like quite possibly the worst idea you could ever do in your entire life. But if you make another Evo, sedan, all-wheel drive, turbo inline 4, that can handle a little bit of power once you go to aftermarket stuff, you're golden. No one, like, dude, people are still kind of praising WRX, even though they made a dumpster fire of a new WRX, and people are still like, oh, it's a good car. Like, you just do it. Just do it, Mitsubishi. What are you waiting for? But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what reviews I'd see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias, or any of my other YouTube channels, or any of that great mumbo jumbo. I will be leaving a comment down below with my new YouTube channel, where I'll be using it to just upload whatever I want to upload, man. It's going to be Mark's Fun channel. Okay, Mark's Fun Time. That's what we're going to call it. No, not really, but it'll be down in the comments below. It's called Giggity Plays, because I was going to do it as like a playthrough channel where I just play video games, but at this point, it's literally just going to be whatever. So yeah, if you're interested in that, that'll be there. But either way, sorry for not uploading for a couple of days. Like I said, man, I've been playing Battlefield 6. Full transparency here, man. I was hooked on that game. I love it. I think it's absolutely incredible. I was having way too much fun playing with my buddies, and I just got too distracted. Didn't make a video. Having a freaking blast playing that game. And also, I said every 3 videos there was going to be a new deep dive. We are working on the next one, but this one is taking way longer than I thought it was going to be. It's going to be on the EG Civic, so hopefully next video will be that video. As a matter of fact, it should be. So in 2 days, hopefully the next deep dive, or what makes it great, whatever you want to call it, will be going live for those who don't know. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go now. Short outro today, because I'm freaking like, I don't know, I'm like thirsty. I'm like, my mouth is like dry today, and I look like stupid right now. Like, look at my hair. I feel like my hair looks ridiculous right now. I don't know. I feel like I look like a bum. Dude, I don't like this. I don't like how I'm looking in my reflection. I feel like a girl going to prom. I just don't like it. I look weird. So I'm gonna end the video. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Watch Lion King if you haven't already, by the way. Like, seriously, watch it if you haven't. Like, it's like one of the best kids movies, just one of the best movies in general of all time. That movie's incredible. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.